Hi everybody, Gisele Grenier here from artplace.ca. For today's workshop, we're going to be doing some Suminagashi backgrounds. Now I'm showing you the absolute basic way to do it with the least amount of supplies. You can go Google the internet for the actual true supplies that you need. I'm going to be showing you this with ink and with acrylics, and the acrylics have been mixed 1-to-1 traditions with watercolor medium. Okay, and then that mixture has been mixed in the tray, and then an equal part of water, okay, with Kodak Photo Flow. Now with this, I took a little refillable bottle, filled it up with water, then topped it up with the Photo Flow. There are so many different recipes on the internet. I would suggest you just check them all out and see. I'm just going to show you what works for me. Taking a tub of water, filled it up with about 2 inch filled it up with about 2 inches of water. Now, Suminagashi is basically you're painting on water. You drip ink, dye, paint, whatever you want on the water, and it marbles out. We're doing these pieces here for as backgrounds for embellishments, and this method here, it's a hit and miss, because if you don't have the right mixture of paint to the Photo Flow, you know, and you get the paint's too heavy, your paint will actually sink to the bottom. So I'm going to take my fabulous point liners, and these fine point liners are so heavy here that they hold a lot of paint. And basically I'm just going to go in here, and even waiting, if the water evaporates too much in my tray, the paint becomes too heavy. So I dip in here, I let the paint drip out of the brush, and then when it stops dripping, I will then touch the tip of the brush to the water. Try to keep the water still. And it just fans out. Now see how that really just disappeared? There's too much Photo Flow in the water. And what I'm doing now is I'm getting some rings. You don't see it yet. And as I'm touching, I'm building these really, really cool rings. And I'm just touching back and forth. That's a good one. There we go. And I am contaminating my paint. That's why I have multiple brushes. And then what you do is you take some paper and you place it on top. Now, some people drop it, some people lay it. It depends on what you want. You want to have the least amount of movement as possible. If you just drop it down, you may get an air pocket. So what I like to do is just touch the tip into the water and gently just roll it like this. The rice paper is so much nicer to use because it's more flexible. Lift it up. Oh, there we go. I had an air bubble right here. Eventually it will fill up. There we go. Isn't that pretty? And I'll put that aside. And if I want to do two colors where I don't get it contaminated, so I've already contaminated everything here. Yeah, yellow is not very bright. Let me see how bright I can get this. It's not too bad. Let me take the yellow and the green. Whoops, green. Yellow, green, yellow. It's not vibrant enough. It's not vibrant enough. Let's just see what we can get. Okay, now let's go into a little bit of blue. And then we'll just take the blue and we'll go right here. The longer you hold it down, the bigger the ring, because it's pulling the paint down. This is still a little bit too much water in here. And let me go to a different brush. Yeah, this is a bit too much water. I say too much of the photo flow medium. I'll push this ring. I'll get another one going here. Now I'm going to do this one with, no, I can only get one piece of paper here. Cool, eh? That is so neat. And I may actually be able to get one more here. There's a little bit here that's left over. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Put that aside to dry. And what I can do too is with the paint. Now you can also do this with ink. Now you can get as many inks as you can. But this is the FW ink. Now the FW, it is ink, so it's much lighter, but you just take this and touch it. Okay? And then take your brush. It is sinking a bit. Go into one of the other colors. And you touch it. I have no idea what I'm doing here, but the whole goal is just to make a print. Now I'm going to take some rice paper, lay that down. The rice paper is the best to use because it just, let's see, it just sucks up everything. And then you got to lay this down to dry. Don't drip it, don't drip dry it yet. If you can actually use a heat gun, that would even be better. I'll lay it down to dry. Now if you were to take, just to show you, if you were to take straight paint, it will work as well, as long as you've got the photo flow mixture in there. And then I'm just going to take this one here, because this paint here is very saturated with a lot of the photo. It's breaking down eventually. When you have too much photo flow, the paint spreads out too much, and you're not going to get that beautiful blooming. Now where are we here? I'm going to let that sit for a sec. Oh my goodness, this is all stuck. I've got vellum paper here, and I'm not going to use the vellum. What I am going to use, I should have been prepared for this, sorry. I want to try some deli paper. I got this from my friend Karen. Now there's two sides here. I'm going to try the soft side first and see what I get, and then I'll pull it back this way. Okay, it's repelling, so deli paper is not the good choice for this. Okay, that's fine, because I can use it for something else. Oh, let me just pull this out just to show you what it looks like. There we go, that's drying. Isn't that beautiful? So let's use the other rice paper that I have. Let's just get some more marks. So deli paper is because of the wax. Yeah, this is too much photo flow in here. Oh, that one was nice. There we go. So I must have picked up an area that's the paint, it's more paint than moisture. And then you go to a different brush. This is where I do it two-handed, depending on the color you're going to go for. A little bit too much, a little bit too much, a little bit too much. I have to find the right spot. You just go back and forth. And this is building rings. Now I'm going to use the paper I know will work, and this is some beautiful Japanese rice paper. You can get rice paper anywhere that sells decorative paper. And it's in, the sheets are a little bit big. So I'm just going to pull one out. And I'm actually going to try to see how much I can get of the entire print. So I'm going to do it like this. And I'm just going to slide it. Okay, and that's what I've got. So you can see where it touched the tub. Isn't that beautiful? I have no place to put these. I'm just going to lay them on top of each other. I have no place to put these. I want to just show you the technique actually. When they're touched, dry to touch, you can hang them up on like a makeshift laundry line. So I'll put that aside. I'm going to go back to the smaller pieces of paper because they're much easier to handle. So if I go, let's just take some ink. Now you see that one's sinking because the ink is too heavy. As soon as this evaporates, it'll be fine. Whoops, too big. Quick touches, quick touches. Let's see if we can get something. Oh no, this I can just feel that this is way too watery. This is way too watery. Whoops. And then as you start doing this, if you start moving the, you can see here, if I move this down, see this, what looks like jellyfish stuff? That's the ink, just way too heavy. So it's starting to sink, but we have a nice, some nice stuff happening here. I'm just going to fold this like this because I want to see if I can get a couple. This is so cool. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And you're only limited by your imagination. It's all when you're doing your color mixing and stuff like that. That's how you do basically all your fun stuff. Now let me get some paint. Let me take a little bit of red paint in there. Let's take a little bit of dioxazine purple. Okay. Let's see what I can get here. The red's not, no, the red's still not quite right. It's going to be very, very light. just going to pull a little of that paint in there. That's going to be heavy. Touch, 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 touch. And the longer you stay in there, the bigger the ring will be. This one warrants a big sheet of paper. And I'm going to try not to touch the side of the tub. Ooh, yeah, look at that. There we go. So I got some mild stuff, and when the water evaporates, it's going to be a little bit more vibrant. But look at that. Again, I have no place to dry these. Look at these. These are drying. Aren't they beautiful? Let's not be lazy. I have a habit of doing that. How about we cut some papers? That would be too easy, right? Let's do another one. So when you're doing this for the first time, just have some practice scrap paper around. And you don't want it to be dripping like crazy. And the water shouldn't be moving either. And if it expands like really, really fast, like separates really fast, you got quite a bit of photo flow in there. And if I hold it in there, it's going to take. This might be a bit heavy. Whoops. And you can go over here. Don't move your tub though. You can get a really cool pattern. Got a couple of air bubbles in here. That's all right. And pull that. The rice paper is the best. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I just spilled paint all over me. I just spilled paint all over. I wonder if we have anything left over. We shouldn't. No. There's nothing left over. Oh, a little mild. Really, really mild, but nothing worth writing home about. Alright. And let's just do one more. I wonder if I can do something with green. I'm basically waiting for all the colors to evaporate here. Let's see what I can, if anything can. Okay, the paint's a little bit heavy. Let me just grab. It does get, whoops. These brushes hold so much, and sometimes when they splatter. Now, red and green do not mix well together, but when you're doing, oh, this one's perfect. When you're doing a Suminagashi, they're pushing each other apart. See? Go here. And this is actually supposed to be like a kind of a spiritual thing as well, and you know, put soft music on and all that stuff. Me, I just want to make the backgrounds. Red and green are opposite on the color wheel. Side by side, they are beautiful. Mixed together, they make mud. So Suminagashi is actually perfect for this. And these backgrounds can be used for cards, for anything. You can actually see the pattern right there. Isn't that nice? There we go. Coolness. Let's do one more. But you get the idea. Now you can just go with inks to do this. Does get crazy. I have never had much success doing them with three brushes. And what I'm doing is I'm watching when the brush gets a drop on the end of it. For me to know which color to put down. Need a bit more blue. But these brushes are perfect for this. Yeah, look at that pattern. Isn't that neat? So you can use any color combination for this. I like these colors because they're really vibrant on camera. But there we go. So it took me 1, 2, 3 or 4 pieces to actually get to the right combination of paint to water. There we go. So start off with the paint. Even if you don't have the photo flow does help though. Start off with the paint and water it down so it's like ink. Add a couple drops of photo flow into the paint. Try that. The watercolor medium is nice, a nice addition as well if you can do that, or even do it with watercolors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this stuff away and I'm going to show you the pieces that we've done. So what I did is I took each piece and I dried them till they were dried to touch with my heat gun, and basically it's just started off like this and moved it around and just till it was dry, then put it in between paper towel sheets. Now what you'll notice as we go through, the ones that have the actual paint that transferred to here is not the paint, it's the actual ink. Okay, because the paint is, once it's dry, it's permanent. So here's one little one, and this I just basically I could cut and then do whatever I want with it. Then I've got this beautiful piece here. It's a little bit damp, but you can see which side that actually touched the ink. So I had to put this down this way because that's the side that's more vibrant. Okay, I'll put this, do this. Here's another one. So so I went down this way. This is the side that's more vibrant. Really pretty. You can see these dots. That's where there was a little bit of air pockets, I think. Let me see. Yeah, because it's on this side. That one's really pretty. I like that. That's still a little bit wet. How pretty is that? You can use them on either side, actually. And this one here was where it actually touched the tub here. But I can cut and use this whole piece. And this one here, same thing. It touched the side of the tub. How beautiful is that? It's actually, this is a vibrant side here. These are great for if you're into card making. This one here was the ink and it's all separating, but look at that. Isn't that cool? That's kind of neat. And these are the very first ones. These are the ones you can see there was an awful lot of photo flow in these. The colors were not vibrant at all. So as the water starts to evaporate, they get a little bit more vibrant. There we go. So it's actually started off this way. And it was like that. And we'll just move these. And I can at this point now hang these up to dry on a makeshift laundry line that I have here in my studio. I'll put these ones down here like so. There we go. And these are ready now for, you can cut them out proper, and then you can use vellum tape to tape them to cardstock if you want to make greeting cards. But these I'm actually going to be using in the Bob and Doug 2013 project, and this will be used for decorating the art pieces, whether you're doing it on canvas, Masonite, or actual journal pages. So I'll be using all these, whether I make them out as tags or punches or something, I don't know. But all I know is that I have them ready and I can do whatever I want with them. So I hope that you give this a try. And remember, if you don't happen to have photo flow, it just makes it easier, but you don't have to have it. With the watercolor medium, again, it makes it a little bit easier, but you don't have to have it. Ideally, you start off with half paint, half water, and then play with the flow of that, add a little bit more paint, a little bit more water, till you get the nice blooms. And sometimes you'll notice it too when you're cleaning your brushes, you know, when you've got paint in your brush, and then when you touch it to the surface, it goes like this. It just kind of spreads out, and so that's just to give you an idea. And the paint just sits on the top and just blooms, and it's actually beautiful. So experiment with it, have fun. And that concludes the end of the entire background portion of the Bob and Doug 2013 series. Now we're actually going to start working on the creation of the journal pages or art pieces, depending on what you're doing them on. And I'm going to start including multiple techniques in each piece, combining 3 or more techniques per project. The one that's coming up will be taking into account collaging tissue onto paper, and then using graphite pencil to draw, collaging a frame around, then using a jelly plate to stamp letters for the actual page. So that's a really nice start because it really gets you going. And then as we start doing these, as we start combining different techniques and stuff like that into all these journal pages, we're going to be working on the exact journal pages that we created. Okay, and some of them though, because I want to show a technique, I will create a fresh journal page when showing a technique, but primarily you want to use the existing pages that you made. And then from there, we'll just kind of go with the flow and have fun. I will be incorporating some dark side of vintage themes into our pages. My friend Mary has some really, really cool art for me themes and stuff like that. So I'll be incorporating a bunch of different themes and prompts into the pages to see what we can create. And I really do hope that you've enjoyed the background portion of this, and that you'll join me for the actual creation of the art pieces that's coming up. And I would say we have at least 26 projects coming up. So I really, more than 26. How many backgrounds were in the book? 40? I don't know. There's a lot. All right. So until next time, stay inspired.